And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Auto Club Speedway as we get ready here today for the running of the Monster Energy 300. We are at Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California, getting ready for 25 laps of racing. Our Truck Series event was certainly a great event. Really was exciting, a lot of four-wide situations, and actually, it was a great finish to the race as well, where they ended up going four-wide several times, actually kept it together after what was a rather wreck-filled beginning of that event. We'll hopefully see the same kind of a thing here today, not the wreck-filled beginning, but some good four-wide racing where they keep it together is what I actually am leading towards. But anyhow, we're getting ready for today's event here from Auto Club, and we got Cassandra Renzi sitting on the pole position. 21st in the point standings. I believe she's 6th in rookie points as well. Renzi for Turner Scott Motorsports, her first pole of the season. And alongside of her is going to be the 89 of Kyle Matthews. Matthews comes into this race 13th in the point standings. He's having quite a good season right now with the Racing with Jesus Chevy Impala. Or actually, that's Camaro, I think. But anyhow, Dylan Young, our winner from Daytona, he's going to line up on the inside of row number 2. Dylan Young currently comes into this race 8th in the point standings, still keeping himself in the hunt. And alongside of him is going to be Levi McIntyre, 2nd in rookie points, only 6 points back from the rookie points leader Andy Timmons, and 4th in overall standings, only 6 points away from the current points leader, which is, again, Andy Timmons. So McIntyre having quite a good season so far. However, out of these 4 drivers, 3 of them were in the Truck Series event, and all 3 did not really finish that well. Kyle Matthews had his struggles. Dylan Young actually retired from the race, and same for Levi McIntyre. So we'll see if their Truck Series luck carries over here today, but they got themselves good qualifying results for today's event nonetheless. So without further ado, we're going to get these cars rolling off. I'll tell you what, though, the points are really close coming to today's race. Andy Timmons is the current points leader by 4 points over Galligan, 5 points over Lyndon Wright, 6 points over Levi McIntyre, and 7 points over Ralph Mason. It's that doggone close. So it's going to be interesting to see the points battle as well as the battle for the win here today, as here's your start lineup for today's Monster Energy 300. Starting on the pole position, as stated, Cassandra Renzi, her first career Mobil1 Cup Series pole, and alongside of her, fellow rookie Kyle Matthews in the 89. Dylan Young lines up in 3rd, and Levi McIntyre in 4th. 3 rookies starting on the first 2 rows. Moving to row number 5, we're going to have Zach Rogers in the number 33 machine. Zach Rogers coming into this race 22nd in points, and alongside of him, the winner from Tweenix, Drew Austin, currently 9th in the standings, trying to keep himself inside the top 10. Sean Henley comes in mid-pack in the points, 24th in the standings. He'll roll off on the inside of row number 4. And alongside of him is going to be Luke Walker in the 2. Walker comes into this race currently 25th in the current standings. So Henley and Walker, same place on the track today, same place in the points. George Roque lines up on the inside of row number 5. Roque comes into this race currently 23rd in the points. And alongside of him is going to be James Silverfox, 11th in the standings, looking for a good run here today to move himself inside the top 10. Row 12 is going to hold Kyle Corbett in number 42. Corbett is 10th in the current standings right now and still looking for his first win of the Mobil1 Cup Series. And alongside of him, Madison Sieber had a great run last week, as did all the Michael Norton Motorsports drivers. But Sieber rolls off from 12th here today, and Sieber's good run last week moved her up to 6th in the current standings and 3rd overall in the rookie standings. And row 7 is going to hold a couple of rookies as well. A couple of rookies who really need good runs too. Ian Dutta in the 88, currently 35th in the point standings, and Harrison Langford comes in 42nd in the points. Both those drivers looking for good runs here today at Auto Club. In row 8 is going to be a former champion and Trent Dunham. Trent Dunham rolling off from 15th place, and Dunham comes into this race currently sitting in 27th in the point stands. Alongside of him is going to be Henry Nova, rookie this year, 36th in the point stands. Really needs a good run today for Turner Scott Motorsports Chevrolet. Ralph Mason rolls off from the inside of row number 9. Mason comes into this race 5th in the point stands. He's really been good ever since the drop of the green flag at Daytona, and alongside of him, rookie Zachary Robinson comes in 30th in the point standings, really trying to get his rookie season going. Maybe today he can jump-start it at Auto Club. Then we got Sean Galligan, former Mobil Cup Series champion in his own right, starts on the inside of row 10, alongside of Dylan Poteet. Sean Galligan comes in runner-up right now in the point standings, only 4 points back from Andy Timmons. And Dylan Poteet actually had a rather tough break last week at the Milwaukee Mile, dropped him down to 20th in points, but he'll try and rebound here today. Cinco de Mayo lines up on the inside of row number 11. Charles Jackson in the number 5, Virginia Motorsports. He comes into this race currently running in the 28th position in points. Alongside of him is going to be Joshua Collard, who also had tough luck last week in the Milwaukee Mile. It dropped him down to 16th in points, as he's been running inside the top 10 in points for a majority at the beginning of the season. Row 12 is going to hold Jacob Lawler in the 41 machine. Now Lawler comes into this race currently sitting 41st in the point standings. Really not what we've seen out of him in previous Mobil Cup Series seasons. We'll see if he can rebound here today. And alongside of him is going to be Jake Rogers. Now Jake actually had a good run in the Truck Series race here yesterday. We'll see how he does in RAB Motorsports number 19, rolling off from 24th place. And Rogers comes into today's race currently 34th in the standings. Then we got Cody Lamas. Cody Lamas went to victory lane at Las Vegas, and he's trying to pick up the third win of the season for Kyle Busch Motorsports, as well as the second win of the season for himself. He'll roll off from 25th place, and he currently sits in the standings at 19th place. And alongside of him is going to be Zach Campbell, who ended up losing the points lead yesterday, I should say, in the Truck Series event. He's 26th on the starting grid here today and comes into this race 18th in the current standings. Lyndon Wright, he's in the hunt for the points lead here today. He'll roll off from 27th place. He is, as I said, 5 points out of the top position. And alongside of him is going to be Chris Washer in the 14 machine. Washer comes into this race currently 17th in the points and 5th in the rookie standings. James McLeod lines up his Swings Racing Chevrolet on the inside of row 15. McLeod actually starting alongside of the guy who beat him for the championship in the 5-lap shootout as Enjoltis at the end of season 6. McLeod and Austin LaPlante, the defending champions, rolling off in the exact same row. McLeod comes into this race 14th in points. LaPlante, on the other hand, comes in 39th in the current standings. James Qualls lines up in the 31st position on the inside of row 16. Qualls is 38th in the point standings after not making the start at Daytona. And Jake Cole, the driver who really has been needing a lot of good luck coming his way, rolling off from 32nd place. He is 40th in the current standings. And he also had very tough luck in the Truck Series race here yesterday. Don't know what it is, but it seems like we always have a Joe Gibbs Racing row here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. I think this is maybe the third straight week that we've had two Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota start the exact same row. This time is Dylan Schwallenberg and Charles Stamper in the 18 and the 11. Now Schwallenberg comes into this race 12th in the current point standings. He's really put together a good season. Stamper, on the other hand, comes into this race 29th in the points. He really needs a good run to get himself going to the Daytona 500 winner of this year. Wolfgang Mason lines up on the inside of row 18. Wolfgang, as well as his brother Ralph, both having good seasons, and Wolfgang is 7th in the point standings. And then Jessica Shelton, who had a great run last week for the Michael Norman Motorsport team, now has moved herself up to 15th in the current standings. Tanner Sullivan lines up on the inside of row 19. Sullivan is currently 31st in the standings here coming into today's race. And last week's winner at the Milwaukee Mile, Andy Timmons, is going to be rolling all the way back to the 38th position. Timmons' win last week gave him the points lead, but a lot of drivers that are behind him in points are starting better than he is. Here today, we'll see if he can fight his way through the field and keep his points lead heading into next week at Thornton. Audi going to be in row number 20 with Anthony McCurry. McCurry actually finally seems to be getting something going with that Audi program. He's 33rd in points due to a lot of poor finishes at Daytona and Las Vegas as well as Phoenix, but last week seemed like a little glimmer of hope. We'll see if he can continue that momentum today, but he's going to have to pick his way through a lot of traffic, and he'll start alongside of another driver who will have to do the same, Daniel Day. Now Daniel Day comes in this race 37th in the point stands. Both Anthony McCurry and Daniel Day, in order to pick up spots in the points, they're really going to have to work for it. And rounding out the final row is going to be Joshua Michaels in the 12 machine from Penske Racing. Michaels currently coming in this race 26th in points, and alongside of him, a driver who finally got a good run last week, Bob Jones, former Rookie of the Year here in this series, rolls off from 42nd place and comes in 32nd in the current standings. And that's a look at your starting lineup for today's Monster Energy 300 here at California Speedway in Fontana, California. Pace car peels off. We get ready to go green flag racing. Cassandra Renzi, can she do it here? And what would only be her 5th career Mobil1 Cup Series start. Green flag comes out. She's got some teammate back there in Dylan Young, and I guess the 33 could kind of be considered a Turner Motorsports car. No, not really. No, it's more out of Kevin Hart Incorporated. Never mind, but he does have Dylan Young. Well, not anymore. Dylan Young says, I'm going to go right to the front, and he leaves his teammate Cassandra Renzi out to dry. Sean Henley got in the middle there, 3 wide, and 4 wide. 4 wide. Bad news. Kyle Corbett gets moved into the middle here. Kyle Matthews there. Levi McIntyre was actually in the grass for a moment. That might have been Luke Walker. Oh, look out. Poteet, Galligan, Dunham backed out. That was a smart move. Dunham actually went down to the apron to get out of this. Can't say I blame him, but did they all get through? They all have gotten through so far. Uh-oh, Jake Rogers looking 4 wide underneath of Harrison Langford. Here comes McLeod and Qualls, 2 James there. LaPlante's rubbing doors with Collard, and there goes Campbell. Up into Henry Nova, and there were a couple others involved. Oh, more contact. There goes McLeod, Langford, and Rogers all together. It had to happen sooner or later, and it apparently happened sooner than later. There's Drew Austin involved as well. There's McLeod, Langford, Rogers. And we better keep an eye on these guys up here, because I wouldn't put it past them to wreck in this turn. Oh, everybody appears to be good, though, and it looks like we're all going to get away with it. At least through turns 3 and 4, as the leader at the line, I think, was Luke Walker, who I believe actually went through the grass area on the back straightaway at one point. But quite a few drivers involved here, and a few drivers actually came in running well in points. So Drew Austin, 9th in points involved in that, and also, as you saw there, James McLeod took a hard lick, and he comes in 14th in the points. Caution flag is out for the first time today. Luke Walker, the current leader. Let's jump back, look at a replay of what happened. Well, this was actually the first incident that actually didn't bring out the caution flag either. This was mid-pack. Watch here, Luke Walker's going to get a little help here out of 2 by Kyle Corbett. It sends him down to Ian Dutta in the 88, and Ian Dutta's car is actually going to snap around on him, and he's going to spin it down on the apron, coming onto the back straightaway. But they apparently did not throw a yellow flag for this incident involving Ian Dutta. So Dutta gets away with just a spin here. But there is something else that could take place further up here. I think it's going to be up around here, around the Levi McIntyre, Trent Dunham, Kyle Matthews machines, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. We know Henry Nova gets a piece of something. So does Harrison Langford. Oh, here it was. Yep, back here. Dylan Pote makes quite an evasive move. 3 wide with Sean Galligan. Ralph Mason's going to get into James Silverfox. And then, where's the contact going to start? There you see Trent Dunham very wisely backing out, as I had said before. And where does the contact begin? Because we know Henry Nova, Harrison Langford, they were all caught up in it. Jump back here to the 24 of Zachary Roberts. Actually, let's jump back to the 60 in the Drew Austin machine, because we know they were all involved. Oh, wait, maybe it wasn't in this turn. Maybe it was coming down to the next turn. Yeah, okay, it was coming down to here. Oh my goodness, wow, they were 6 abreast, I think. With Austin, Nova, Zach Campbell, Austin LaPlante, Joshua Collard, and I can't tell who that is on the inside. Doesn't really matter, though. I think it might have been Cody Lamas. There you see it. Campbell gets turned around off the nose of the 6, up into the 32 and the 54. And Tanner Sullivan does a nice job getting down underneath the Henry Nova machine in order to avoid that incident. And so as these 3 wreck, then we know that James McLeod's going to get turned. Oh, that's already happened with him, Harrison Langford, and Jake Rogers. And these drivers, they had all gotten past that other incident, but they were 4 wide. James Qualls, James McLeod, Jake Rogers, and Harrison Langford. And wow, that is some heavy impact there for the 51. And the 60 actually goes airborne as well. McLeod up and on his roof, sliding along the outside safer barrier in the turn 2 area. Jake Rogers, for 2 drivers there that took violent hits, Jake Rogers' car, his Heinz Ford, doesn't look that badly damaged, surprisingly enough. But there is McLeod and there is Langford, and that is a tough break for McLeod. As I said, came in 14th in the point standings, and certainly not what he needed. And Drew Austin 9th in the point standings. We saw the hit that he took. However, the incident there with Drew Austin and those others didn't really look nearly as bad as this incident here with Harrison Langford and James McLeod. Those were the hard licks that were taken here under our first caution of the day. Let's head back now for our first restart of the day here at Auto Club. So we thought we were going to go back, look at the 2 incidents that took place that brought the caution flag out, but we did see that other incident there with Kyle Corbett, Luke Walker, and Ian Dutta. So the question is there any damage on our leader? And if there is, it would be on his left side, because that's where he ended up running into Ian Dutta with. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage on the left side of his machine, so Luke Walker looks like he will still be up to speed. He is the leader. Second place is Sean Henley. Charles Jackson runs in 3rd, Dylan Young 4th, and the pole sitter Cassandra Renzi's now back to 5th. Levi McIntyre is 6th. 7th is Kyle Matthews. Zachary Robinson is in 8th. 9th is Jake Cole, and 10th place will be Charles Sanford. Then it's Anthony McCurry, Jessica Shelton, Bob Jones, Daniel Day, and Andy Timmons, the points leader. That is the top 15. don't think anybody came down pit road under that caution to make any pit stops or anything. So we will be getting ready to go back to green flag racing here, and we do have a couple drivers that are out of the race. As a matter of fact, we're actually being told that Wolfgang Mason, James Silverfox, and Madison Sieber have all retired. I don't know what happened to them. If we have another caution come up, we're definitely going to have to jump back and see what happened, because Silverfox is listed 38th, Madison Sieber 39th, and Wolfgang Mason in 40th. And these are drivers that came in running well in points. Silverfox is 11th in points, Madison Sieber is 6th in points, and Wolfgang Mason is 7th in points. And those three are listed as DNFing, I believe. Let me just quickly look at the tail end of the pack here. Oh, there's Silverfox. Yeah, he's catching up here. Madison Sieber as well. They are still on track, but Wolfgang Mason is apparently out of the race. And look at these two, slicing and dicing their way through traffic, catching up here, and they are several miles per hour faster than everybody else. They may be able to get up here sooner than later and maybe get themselves back on the lead lap. Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Dylan Young has now gotten around Luke Walker. He's going to go to the lead again, and here comes his teammate, Cassandra Renzi. The Turner Motorsports car is looking good right now. At least the 30 and the 31 are. The 34 of Silverfox we just stated went a lap down somehow. And Henry Nova has been caught up in an incident already here today, as Renzi's going to go underneath their teammate. Drag race at the line between two teammates, and oh, I think it was Dylan Young on the high side may have gotten that. It was indeed. So Dylan Young trying to power around the outside line. Not going to work though. Oh wait, has the caution out? The way they just split up there, looks like the caution may have come out. No, they're still green flag racing. Oh, someone just got turned. I think it might have been Charles. But he hangs on to it. That was off the nose of Samfer, I think. Charles nearly got turned, but he hangs on to it. We're still green flag racing. Meanwhile, Levi McIntyre now going to go to the inside of Cassandra Renzi. McIntyre is 4th in points, 2nd in rookie points, 6 points back in the standings from the points leader, Andy Timmons. And he will now go to the lead. Let's see where our points leader currently is running. We know he started back in 15th on this restart. And he's back now in the 19th position. He's been losing some spots. He lost a spot to Jake Cole, Jessica Shelton, Corbett, LaPlante. He's now about to lose one to James Qualls. He's in a 3-wide situation with Sean Galligan on the high side. Here comes Dylan Schwallenberg. He's going to try and get to the inside line. Whoa! Timmons getting a little close to the left rear of the U-Haul Ford of Jake Cole, but still keeping it clean. Sean Galligan right behind him. Keep in mind, Galligan is 2nd in points, only 4 points behind Andy Timmons, so keep it close tabs on him, but not able to get around him just yet. Well, maybe I said that a little too soon. Here comes Galligan to the inside. Dylan Pote going to pass them both. Oops, hitting the wrong button, as I meant to go up here to the front again. 3 wide right there. That would be for about the 8th position, and firmly in control right now, that is Levi McIntyre. Cassandra Renzi now takes 2nd place away from Daniel Day. And here comes Cody Lamas. Cody's last win up coming at Las Vegas, a track very, very similar to this. And he could be in the hunt for a 2nd win early on this season. It's not impossible. Remember, Jacob Lawler yesterday went to Victory Lane, the Truck Series event, for the 2nd straight week. Whoa, Cody! Yikes! Wanted to go to the inside of Renzi, but someone was already there. Charles Jackson with Sean Henley on the inside line. And they're 4 wide again. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, man, they settled it out to 3 wide. Good thing. A couple other drivers here we haven't talked about yet. Kyle Matthews, Zach Rogers, Daniel Day all up here. And, oh, they're all backing up. Oh, Zach Rogers gets turned off the nose of somebody. And there goes Sanford. Sanford has spun it. Sanford's around. Is everybody going to miss him? No, we got collected by somebody. I don't know who it was. Oh, we got collected by a lot of people. Collard is in it. Roke's in it. Lawler, Austin, Nova, Trent Dunham, Zachary Robinson. Lyndon Wright may have gotten caught up in it. I don't know. And the caution flag's out. Pace car immediately came and got the leaders on the back straightaway. He must have broke a record doing that. There's Trent. There's Zach Campbell. He may have gotten some of that incident there. Whoa, look out. Slower car, Tanner Sullivan. He's got some damage on his not Home Depot, Dollar General Toyota. Wow, where'd that come from? Ian Dudda's got some more front-end damage. And they're going to make some pit stops here. All the leaders going to come in this time as we're near the halfway point. So let's jump back, take a look at the replay. We're first going to see what happened to Wolfgang Mason, Madison Sieber, and James Silverfox to cause Mason to retire and Silverfox and Sieber to go a lap down. Then we'll take a look at this incident that brought out our second caution of the day. Well, this was apparently coming down to the caution flag, and the incident here is going to involve just Wolfgang Mason, it would appear. Joshua Michaels, oh no, Joshua Michaels makes no contact. Trent Dunham just turns Wolfgang up into the wall. And then Trent gets collected himself there, gets some damage on the right side, and also is going to scrape the outside retaining wall. Wolfgang, coming down to the caution flag, just gets flat out turned by Trent. You don't really see Trent Dunham turn many people on purpose. I'm not really certain what that was all about, and it's a tough break there for Wolfgang as well, because Wolfgang was running 7th in the point standings, and that just ends his day for absolutely no apparent reason. But now let's take a look and see what happened to Madison Sieber and James Silverfox. Well, apparently I was wrong. Under the first caution flag, some drivers did come down and make pit stops. A lot of drivers actually did, even though everybody has come down pit road this caution. But James Silverfox coming down pit road, he's coming in. Madison Sieber is leaving, and right here, oh man, they just were in the same area at the same time. And Silverfox trying to get into his pit stall. Madison Sieber says, hey, I'm trying to get position off pit road here. They're going to make some contact, and Silverfox teleports into his pit stall. Madison Sieber is not able to go anywhere. She's caught behind the George Roque machine. And I don't think Silverfox is completely into his pit stall yet either. I don't think they're able to yet complete service on his machine. Either that or he's going to try leaving pit road. Yeah, there you see, he teleports to his pit stall. Madison Sieber, who's boxed in, is going to be teleporting to her pit stall in just a moment. And those two had to have extended stays on pit road, and that's what caused them to be off the lead lap. So that's a tough break for two other drivers that came in running well in the point standings, both of them inside the top 11. And because of this incident, they really going to have to fight to get back on the lead lap here, and that's a tough break for both those machines. And it's not even an incident on the track, it's an incident on pit road that ends up costing the both of them. Now let's take a look and see the incident that happened with Charles Sanford that actually put us under the caution flag here today for the second time at California. Well, this thing just seemed to be breaking down very quickly. Everybody was backing up here out of 4. You're going to see Dylan Young make some contact with Zach Rogers there on the inside line. And then I think it's going to be Anthony McCurry going to make some contact with Charles Sanford right there. Turns him down to Jessica Shelton. McCurry actually goes down to LaPlante, but they were able to hang on to it. Corbett's going to turn the 11 around with a little bit more contact. Sends him up into the Madison Sieber machine. Then right there's more contact. Sieber spins around. Zachary Robinson gets a piece of it. And then here comes everybody else that was trying to avoid. Look out. Bob Jones, he's going to hit Robinson. Andy Timmons actually, I think, got a little piece of that, the points leader. There's Andutta, Lawler, Roque, Collard. Drew Austin's not able to slow down. He gets a piece of it. So does Jake Rogers, Zach Campbell. Trent Dunham's caught up behind this. I don't think he really got any piece of this, though. But did Andy Timmons actually get a piece of it? That's what I'm wondering here. Okay, let's look here. Sanford's gonna right there. I think if he hadn't made the contact with Sieber, his car would have stayed up on the high side, and we might have actually gotten away with only a 3, maybe 4 car incident. But then when he came back down, that was the trouble. And yeah, Timmons right there. The entire right front. That was a pretty hard lick there for Andy Timmons. So the points leader has now got some damage. Our winner last week at the Milwaukee Mile. That is a tough break for Timmons. I don't know how bad the damage is, how significant it is. I'm certain they're probably going to try and pull that fender out there as they were making the pit stops just moments ago. But that's what brings out the caution flag, an incident on the front straightaway, and several drivers getting some fairly sizable damage from it. As we're under the yellow flag, let's jump back now for the restart. Well, everybody did come down pit road, but there were several different pit agendas, and so it has shuffled up the field quite a bit. Charles Jackson is now the new leader. Cody Lamas lines up behind him in second. The pole sitter Cassandra Renzi is in third. Luke Walker in fourth, and Zach Rogers runs in fifth. Jessica Shelton is now in sixth. Seventh place will be Austin LaPlante. Kyle Corbett in eighth. Ninth, Ralph Mason, and Kyle Matthews runs in 10th. 11th is Anthony McCurry, the guy that came down pit road as the leader, will restart 12th. That's Levi McIntyre. Daniel Day 13th. Sean Henley 14th. 15th is Dylan Schwallenberg. 16th, Dylan Young. Dylan Poteet 17th. 18th, Chris Washer. 19th is James Qualls, and Jake Cole completes top 20. Let's go further back here. Bob Jones is in 21st. 22nd, Sean Galligan. 23rd, Lyndon Wright. Tanner Sullivan's 24th. 25th is Joshua Collard. 26th place is Andy Timmons. 27th will be George Roque. 28th is Joshua Michaels. The rest of the top 30 are Trent Dunham, and Jacob Lawler. Zach Campbell lines up 31st. 32nd is Henry Nova. Drew Austin's 33rd. 34th is Jake Rogers. One lap down in 38th is going to be James Silverfox. Zachary Robinson's in 35th. 36th, Ian Dutta, and Charles Samper is the last car on the lead lap in 37th place. It looks like Madison Sieber may have actually gone back behind the wall now. She was a lap down. She had that contact with Samper on the front straightaway. I can only assume that her going to the garage area was after that hit she got from Zachary Robinson, because her car, aside from that, looked pretty good, even though it was off the lead lap. Looked like she still was up to speed and everything. But getting ready to go back to green flag racing here now with 10 laps to go. Charles Jackson still looking for his first win of the season. Cody Lamas looking for his second, and he immediately jumps down to the inside line on Charles Jackson. Now these guys, as I said, they got out ahead of Levi McIntyre, who's going to be restarting back in the 12th position. I don't know if some of these guys went with just 2 tire stops, fuel only, or what. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pit strategy is going to work out here today, because we may not be done with caution flags either. These drivers, they'll tell you, it uses up a lot more fuel when you're running around during caution laps slowly than when you're just out there racing at full speed. As Luke Walker, this car has really been good today. He was out in front of majority of this race at the beginning, and he's trying to get around Cassandra Renzi, go back to the front, but Cody Lamas is kind of helping Renzi there, and whoa, almost went 3 wide. No, wait a minute! Oh, man! Jessica Shelton, Austin the Plant, they were 4 wide somehow, so that's 3 wide. Charles Jackson just got dumped by McIntyre. Just got flat out dumped. Oh my goodness, and he is smoking. There were others involved. Poteet's got an appeasement. Oh, Andy Timmons, the points leader, is flipping. Silverfox, Dutta, Lawler, Campbell, Rogers. Oh man, another pile up, this time on the back straightaway. And the points leader, Andy Timmons, was caught up in it. And there is Charles Jackson, who was running up at the front when we got the green flag to go back into green flag racing mode of this race. And his car is smoking. Kyle Matthews is not the leader. Who is the leader? Cody Lamas. They're being listed as the leader right now. And I just saw that happen too. Charles Jackson got flat out dumped in turn 2 by Levi McIntyre. There is Poteet, Rogers, Jacob Lawler, I know, got a piece of it. Silverfox and Dutta, I think they were involved as well. And the caution flag waves one more time. Boy, we had one incident that collected a lot of drivers on the front straightaway. Now we have one that collects a lot of drivers on the back straightaway. Cody Lamas, currently the leader. Let's jump back, take a look at a replay of what happened, as it doesn't look like any of these drivers could have come down pit road this time. Well, we're starting here because here you see Jessica Shelton, Austin the Plant. They got together. They got into Charles Jackson. Jackson goes way up the racetrack. He actually almost hits the wall here in turn 2. So he lost a whole lot of momentum. Then he tries coming back down into traffic, and here comes Levi McIntyre at full speed. McIntyre really had nowhere to go with that momentum, so we really can't say he dumped Charles Jackson. Charles shouldn't have really come down into racing traffic just yet. But there he's going to get the hit from Dylan Poteet. Andy Timmons is going to get collected right there. And I don't know how Timmons' car is going to actually flip over. Oh, there's where Jake Rogers got it. I think he ended up nailing Charles Jackson. And then here comes the Zach Campbell machine. He gets into it, and then, yep, then the hit right there again from Jake Rogers. There's Lawler getting a piece of it. Ian Dutta is going to make a little bit of contact there. James Silverfox caught up behind Zach Campbell. No, Ian Dutta got through it. Where's Rogers? There's Rogers. I think he got most of his hit from the Charles Jackson machine back here. Yep. You can just barely see it through the smoke. The rear of the 5 going to come around right in front of Jake Rogers. Rogers had absolutely nowhere to go. I mean, he couldn't even probably see through the smoke. There's George Roque. He's going to get turned off the nose of Drew Austin, but I think he hangs onto it. And then Campbell makes contact with Timmons, sends him down right down to Jake Rogers' racing line, and a second straight hard hit for him, and it flips Andy Timmons, the points leader, over on his lid. Man. Andy Timmons was able to survive that last incident. I don't think he'll be able to survive this one, though. That was a wild ride for the points leader. And just like that, we may end up having a new points leader heading into next week at Thornton. A lot of big names involved in this one, too. Dylan Poteet and Jake Rogers, Charles Jackson, all involved here. Drivers who had been doing a good job keeping their noses clean and surviving this race, all involved here in the closing stages of today's Auto Club 500. Okay, I really must be losing my mind because I just called it the Auto Club 500, and that's going to be the Snickers Cup Series race. In fact, it's not going to be the Auto Club 500, it's going to be the Auto Club 400. This is the Monster Energy Drink 300. I don't have a clue where my head was just then. But anyhow, Cody Lamas getting ready to get us back underway. We'll have a total of 4 laps to go here at Auto Club. When we get back to green, Luke Walker lines up second. Kyle Matthews been very quiet all day long, but kept himself in the hunt. He's in third. Same for Daniel Day in fourth, and same for Ralph Mason in fifth. Zach Rogers sixth. Cassandra Renzi is in seventh. Kyle Corbett eighth. James Qualls is ninth. And Chris Washer, haven't talked about him all day. He's now up inside the top 10. Getting ready to go back to green. Drivers out after that incident are as follows: Dylan Poteet, Charles Jackson, Andy Timmons, and Jake Rogers. So the points leader, Andy Timmons, will not be the points leader after today's race. Green flag back out. Did Silver Fox continue? Yes, he did. He's back there, still a lap down, the 34th position. So I think we can safely say that if the caution comes out again at any point, that the race will be over at the line. Because they just took the green flag with 4 laps to go here, and it takes us about 3 or 4 laps under caution to get back to green flag racing. So the odds are we would not get back to green. However, it was a single file restart, so maybe, just maybe, we're going to run in some green flag laps, maybe to the checkers. That would be nice, as Zach Rogers just moved into second place. Daniel Day, Luke Walker line up behind him. Zach Rogers would love to be able to go to victory lane. He's been having a pretty mediocre season, 22nd in points. Oh, and here comes Daniel Day, though. Daniel Day going to the inside line. Now, Daniel Day, on the other hand, he is 37th in points. He really needs a good run. And right behind him, Luke Walker, another driver who really needs a good run, too. And they're getting him right now. But they got to catch up to one of what may be one of the most dominant cars so far this season, Cody Lamas in the 77. Cody comes into this race 19th in the point stands after he had a tough break last week at the Milwaukee Mile, but he's a former winner already this season, won at Las Vegas, and Kyle Busch Motorsports has really put together some really, really good cars. How about this car back here? Anthony McCrory in the 61, making his way through traffic. I think he just took 6th place away from Luke Walker. No, I'm sorry, that was 5th. Great run today here for the Audi, but there's a battle for the lead. Daniel Day has now gotten to the inside of the 77, heading into 3, and Chris Washer is all of a sudden making his presence felt up here as well. James Qualls is coming up here. I see Sean Henley back there too. Don't count these guys out. There's still time for them to make moves. White flag in the air. Daniel Day has cleared Cody Lamas here at the line. And here comes Washer underneath of Cody Lamas for second. James Qualls lined up there ready to take third. Oh boy, look out, Chris Washer. Oh, he bails out of the throttle just a little bit there. James Qualls getting to his left rear as he'll go for second. Daniel Day now in firm control of the lead. He's got to make sure he's careful here through turns 3 and 4, and he may have just made the move to take the win. Oh, Cody slides it way down the inside line. 3 wide for second. McCrory in that as well. All mayhem breaking loose behind Daniel Day, who comes out of turn number 4. Penske Racing going to go to victory lane for the first time this season. Daniel Day goes to victory lane for the first time this season. He wins the Monster Energy 300. 37th in points. Couldn't have come any sooner for him. Great win. And I think somebody's wrecking back there. Did they just wreck? Well, I guess not. I thought it... Oh, yep, they did. Zach Rogers, who finished the day out in 10th, and Dylan Schwallenberg, who finishes in 9th. They got together there after the cross the start-finish line. They'll still get their top 10 finishes. And Cody Lamas going to finish runner-up here today. But there is your winner, Daniel Day, in the 22, and I think it may actually be his first career Mobil1 Cup Series win. I remember he's a former Mobil1 Cup Series driver when he drove the 66 for Rusty Wallace Racing, but I don't think he went to victory lane during his tenure there. Well, maybe he did. Actually, he might be a former winner. So it may be his second win in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Hang on, I can quickly look it up. And I just took a little look back in the record books, and yes, indeed, he is a former winner in the Mobil1 Cup Series. He had one win back in Season 6. And so Daniel Day is going to go victory lane for what would be the second time in his career in the Mobil1 Cup Series. So a great win for him today here at Auto Club. As always, we'll take a look at our official top 10 results. Daniel Day with the victory. Cody Lamas still continues on his good run. He finishes second. James Qualls, nice run for him in third. And Anthony McCurry really needed good luck coming his way. He gets a great run here today. I think that's his best finish of the season in fourth. Chris Washer, excellent run in fifth. Same for Kyle Matthews. I don't know what it is, but Chris Washer, Kyle Matthews, in all my series seem to finish pretty close to each other. Sean Henley, didn't talk about his Twinks Racing Chevrolet at all today. He finishes a very stellar 7th place. Dylan Young in 8th, and then Dylan Schwalmer and Zach Rogers, who got together after the start-finish line was crossed. They get 9th and 10th today. Nice runs for both of those machines. Now, as far as the points lead goes, who would be the points leader? Okay, Levi McIntyre is currently, he finished in 11th place. And I don't see, well, wait a minute, Ralph Mason, he finished behind him 2 positions. Sean Galligan finished in 17th. And where's Lyndon Wright? He finished in 24th, so I don't think Lyndon's going to be in the hunt. So it's between Galligan, McIntyre, and Mason, and I think according to what I'm seeing here and according to the points coming into today's race, I believe the new points leader is going to be a rookie in Levi McIntyre in the 99 with an 11th place finish here today. I think he's going to be the leader. Ralph Mason, I think, will be in second with third place being Sean Galligan. At least that's the way I'm reading it, and I think that's how it's going to be. Dylan Young may factor into the equation inside the top 5 as well. I don't know for certain. But we do know, I think for pretty certain, that Levi McIntyre will be the points leader heading into next week. And next week, you ask? We're at Thornton. The Turn of Death makes its return to the NNSCRA. Can't wait for that. So we got a Snickers Cup Series race to finish off this Auto Club race weekend first before we head to Thornton for 3 exciting races. And hope you'll be tuning in for that Snickers Cup Series race as well. Hope you enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finishing results, overall point stands, and rookie points headed into next week's race at Thornton. As you've been watching the production of the SRA, offline racing at its best.